This is the Eberlestock V90 Battleship. It is a big pack, and I've got it loaded up, loaded for bear. And this pack is just really amazing me. It's part of their military, or their LEAF, which stands for Law Enforcement Armed Forces LEAF project. And it's not the newest version of the battleship. The newest version has a different lid that actually comes off and turns into a fanny pack, which I think is wonderful. This one doesn't do that. This is an older version, but it reminds me so much, and I'm surprised at this, it reminds me so much of the ILBE. And maybe we're going to decide it's better. I don't know. I know that sounds like heresy, but let's take a look at it and see what we think of it. So as I said, I've got it loaded. It's got a lot of weight in it. I'm not talking pillows. It's got a lot of gear in there. And I'm using this bucket to kind of prop it up because I want you to get a good look at it. It reminds me very much of the ILBE, especially over here on the sides. It has this large pocket on the bottom, and then of course it's got all kind of straps and buckles. Right here it's got something very interesting. This, if you watch other videos, they talk about, oh, you can put your trekking poles, or you can put your tripod in there. No, I'm no fool. That is for a rifle barrel. It holds a rifle really well. And then above this lower pocket is a large mesh pocket. And this pocket, they talk about it being really great for like putting wet gear in and letting it dry out and stuff like that. And maybe that's what it's for. I don't know. But Lord knows you could get a lot of stuff in both these pockets. And then above and inside, there's another pocket. And it's right here. And it's a hydration pocket. And it goes pretty far down. And once we get this thing unloaded, I'll let you see more about how far down it goes. And so it's a hydration sleeve. And they've got that on both sides. Now this thing right here, this little rifle barrel snap, it's only on one side. So the other side looks just like the first, except for it doesn't have that rifle barrel snap. But it's got the all the other straps and things like that. It's got all the same pockets. And notice that the pockets can be adjusted somewhat. You've got this barrel lock, so you can tighten it up somewhat and cinch down, both of them, cinch down whatever you got there. And then you've got some MOLLE fields on both the top and bottom. Whoa, almost dropped it. Now down below you've got a way to get into the bottom section, and this thing is sectioned off inside by a drawstring and kind of a neck. And you don't have to use that. If you want to, you can turn it into one just giant pack, but you can section it off right there and use the bottom part for like sleeping gear and stuff like that. And you can see there's a almost complete circle, kind of a C circle with a zipper, so that you can open that up. And then of course you got a little bit of MOLLE there. Here the bottom portion is totally empty. Now I've still got a lot in the top, and you can see that neck that comes together with a cinch and a barrel lock. And you can see when I open up the bottom compartment just how roomy that is. Quite a bit of space under there. And while we're down here, I want to mention this. There's a little section for a Rainfly, and this Rainfly can be taken off. Well, I say it can be taken off. You know what? I may be wrong. It may be captive, which is fine. Well, you could take it off if you wanted to unthread that piece of cord. It's a elastic strap. So you could take it off if you wanted to, but why would you? It'll fit over the whole pack from there. And there it is with the Rainfly on it. More than generous enough to cover the whole pack. Very nice. Now, while we're looking in hidey holes, we already looked at this one. Let's look at this this opening right here. Right in the middle of the pack, in the very front middle of the pack, is a way to access the main part of the pack. If you don't want to go in from the top, you can access this front here. And what they've got is another one of these, man, I don't know, do you call them clamshells? Do you call them inverted C's? Do you call them upside down U's? I mean, you've got one here, and then you got one here. A zippered access. And this one is very large. And it allows you to zipper the whole front of the main section open. And you can see I've got this thing just stuffed with some fairly heavy military clothing. But as you can see, you can access this entire main portion of the pack through this. And I'm not going to lie to you, I've never been a real fan of that. To me, it created a weak point. What if this zipper blew? Your pack is kind of ruined. And also, I mean, I didn't have this. You know, my time in the Marine Corps was all Alice pack. And I was used to going in from the top. When I hiked the Appalachian Trail, my pack, even though it was a very lightweight ruck, you went in from the top. And I never knew that I was deprived, okay? But evidently I was. And so now you have the ability to access any area of this main pocket. Now remember, I should have shown you that. You still got this section divider here. You can't really see it from here. You saw it better when I had this open. And, you know, I called it I don't know, did I call it a throat or a neck? I don't know, maybe a sphincter. But it allows you to divide these two sections. And if you want to, you open it up and just let it hang. And it'll hang down inside of this compartment. And you've just got one large compartment. And that'd be great if you had long stuff, or I don't know, if you just didn't have the sleep system divider that you wanted. You didn't want to do all that. Yeah, you could just leave it one long pack. But that is the front access. Little bit of MOLLE here, or PALS webbing, so that you could attach, I don't know, first aid kit, something, bino, something that you wanted to have a little more accessible. And then of course you got these two compression straps coming across the front. Oop, here they are, which you would have to undo if you wanted to open this main section. Then you've got these two ice axe rings, 1, 2. And come on up. I'll get to the lid later. And pretty much that's everything. Let's see what's on the bottom. Okay, on the bottom you've got another fill of MOLLE, and that's pretty much all you got there. Now the lid is captive. You cannot take it off. Like I said, on the newer versions you can, and they've made it where you can turn it into a fanny pack, and I really like that idea. But on this one, this older version, you cannot. You've got a way to cinch it up there, tighter, depending on how full you've got this thing. And then there's several places you can get into. There's 2 different pockets on this lid. Now let's look at the suspension. It's pretty robust. Now, the belt's not going to come near to the same degree of thickness that the ILBE does, but it's pretty darn good. The shoulder straps, they're good. You know, they're okay. I've seen better. I wish they were a little wider, but that's okay. Very adjustable. You can adjust it for your height, and it's very easy to do. And you can see the suspension system is 2 aluminum, not rods, I guess what would you call those? Plates? Struts? We'll call them struts. And you see how extremely they're bent. At first I thought mine had been messed with, and so I pulled them out, and then I started looking online on Eberlestock's website. No, that's pretty much how they show them. And I put it on, and it was fairly comfortable. So I left them the way they are. It's also got 3 grab straps. One here, one in the same place on the other side, and then one big one up here. I really like those handholds. And it's kind of like the ILBE in that there's some sort of big rubber hose in there. So they've definitely got some of the same characteristics as the ILBE. Up here, you've got 3 different places that you can run hydration or antennas, because like I said, this is configured for the military. All right, now I'm ready to talk about the lid. And I got this thing precariously balanced up here, so I may have to support it. But as I said, this is an early model of the Battleship, and this model, the lid is captured. It's part of the thing. And I really, if you're interested in this pack, I really would take a look at the newer version, because in it, the lid has all the attributes of this one, except it is not captured, and it comes off, and you can turn it into a butt pack. It has a waist belt that comes out, and I'm just excited by that concept. But it's a very expensive pack. I'm not going to buy it new. I just don't have the DNA to buy things new, and or the pocketbook. And I'm very happy with what I was able to find. So I tell you what, if you were a seamstress, there's enough meat here. You could cut this thing, put some Velcro on, and turn it into one of those packs. But I'm not gonna. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do that. I know I butcher a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna do that. So when you open this pack up and throw it back, first of all, you've got an interior pocket that is all by itself. I don't have anything in it because it's kind of a flat pocket, and it's more of a flat. You know, they call them map pockets, but it's just a pocket that's going to hold stuff that's primarily flat. If you want to hold stuff that has got some form to it, you know, I don't know, maybe a big rain suit, something like that, you want to open this pouch here on the top, and it's got lots of room. Let me see. Hey birdie, don't get up. I got this. So it's got all kind of room in there, and I've just got a bunch of crap crammed in there. What do I got crammed in there? I had all that crammed in there. Oh, and even more. Bunch of hats. A lot of room in that top flap. And it also has some Pals webbing on it. It has a Fastex buckle, 2 of them, to help you strap something down, and also for compression. But you could strap something down to the top if you wanted to. And then the way you cinch this lid up to the main pack is right here. And the reason they give you so much room is if you really have this pack loaded and you have this storm collar, you know, full, and this pack's up to here, you can still get this lid over it. So they've been very, very gracious with giving you plenty of lid if you've just got this pack all the way. And you know, it's called the V90, and 90, I understand, stands for liters. Well, if this is a 90-liter pack, I'm thinking they're planning on you having this storm collar full all the way to the top, because I don't see otherwise how it's a 90-liter pack. You know, my eye's not calibrated, but it just seems like they're really planning on you having this thing full all the way to get 90 liters in there. But anyway, it's got a little Velcro on the front, la-di-da. There's no side pockets on this one. I do understand that the new one, the one that comes off and turns into a fanny pack, does have some side pocket. I don't know if it's a pass-through or just a one-way, but anyway, it's a very gracious pack lid. And I do love these storm pack lids that fit over the pack, and I'm very impressed by that one. All right, so I've taken everything out of the pack, and that'll give us the ability to look inside and see some of the features inside the pack. Now, first of all, you've got 2 barrel locks and strings, one on the upper part of the storm collar, very generous storm collar, and then one down at the bottom of the storm collar where the main pack begins. And I'd say that's about 6 or 8 inch storm collar, so it's really large. And then before I go inside, I kind of want to give you a better look at these hydration sleeves. Let's see, how's the best way to... So I'm sticking my arm down there. So you saw how far down my arm went. Let's see if we can find something else that'll help you understand. 2-liter water container. I got these because I want to carry water in the hydration pouches, but I don't necessarily like hydration reservoirs for drinking from. Love them for carrying water, but I'm not into sucking from a straw anymore. It's a long story, but let's see how well these fit. And I haven't tried this before, so you'll be finding out with me. So we take the container. Whoa! Well, that just slid in really well, didn't it? Barely an inconvenience. Yeah, so that'll ride really well, and you can see how far down it goes. So that's a pretty deep sack or pocket or pouch to hold that thing so well. Yeah, that's impressive. I didn't know it was going to be that deep, but that's great. And so that would hold, see, that's supposed to be 2 liters right there. So that would easily hold a 2-liter, maybe a 3-liter reservoir. I'll need to jump on the Arc'teryx, not Arc'teryx, I apologize, Eberlestock website and see what they say about that. But there's one of these on each side, and this still leaves these pouches free for whatever. All right, let's look at some of the features on the inside of the pack. And to give myself more light and room, I went ahead and zipped down the front access. And when you go in here, the first thing you want to notice is that there's a pretty large, in the military we would call that a radio pouch, but a pretty large pouch right up against your back. And it is held there by a Fastex buckle. And you could use that for whatever. Heck, it's so deep you could put a hydration container there. Well, let's find out. So there's our 2-liter water bottle. It'll go, but sticks up a little bit. But anyway, it shows you how deep that pouch is. And like I said, it's held up by a Fastex buckle or something like that. But then there's another pouch right below it. And there's a pouch on either side of it. And they're pretty deep too. So let's go down here. And I apologize if this is some quaky camera work. But there's pouches all in here. Here, let's do this. Let's take this thing down, put it on its side, and see if we can't look at it a little better. All right, so we're just going to gut this thing like a fish. So inside, as I said, you got this one main pouch up against your back with a secondary pouch right underneath it. Then you've got a strap going across if you need to hold something firmly against your back. Then you have pouches on both sides. One here, one over there. And then you get down to this sphincter or neck or whatever you want to call it that separates the 2 compartments. If you decide you don't want to separate the main compartment from the sleeping bag compartment, you just open this barrel lock and voila, you've got one giant compartment. And that's it. That's it. Oh no, that's not it. Look at there. There's a little bit of Powell's webbing right up here. That's interesting. So really, you have the ability to carry a lot of water in there if you're into hydration reservoirs. you could carry quite a bit, and the weight of the water would go up against your back, and that's the place you want to put that weight, because water does weigh a lot. So that's the inside of the pack, gutted like a fish. And I got to tell you, this is a very interesting pack. It's got a lot to it, and I'm just really impressed with it. If I've left anything out, or if you have any questions about anything you saw, I know with some of that shaky camera work, there might be some. Just drop me a line. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about it. And I'll tell you what I think is in the future. I think in the future we're going to have to see a contest between the Eberlestock Battleship, V90 Battleship, and the Marine Corps ILBE. I think we're going to have to put them head to head and see who can hold the most gear, and how well. I really think we're going to have to do that. Hey, thanks for watching.